You organize Sial fairs all over the world. Can you inform us about Sial fairs, especially Sial Paris, which is the biggest one in the world?
Yes, so I am Nicolas Trentesaux. I'm the general manager of the Sial organization. So we do organize about 12 events every year worldwide. The biggest one is the one in Paris. And we started Sial Paris actually 60 years ago. So it's a special anniversary this year for Sial Paris. It's actually the biggest show in the world. We have about 8,000 or 7,500 exhibitors from all over the world. And this is the biggest fair. We will be welcoming in Paris in October about close to 300,000 professionals from the food industry. And yes, it's the biggest fair. Not only we're in Paris, but we also like in Canada, we a lot in Asia, we're in China, we are in Indonesia, Malaysia, India, etc. So Sial is actually the biggest network in the world.
As you mentioned in your speech, what would you like to say about the food industry worldwide? What solutions are you offering with Sial fairs?
So Sial Fair is, of course, it's about business because that's where you have exhibitors, they come here to sell, where you have visitors who comes to buy. But it's also a big place for inspiration and understanding of the global trends of the food industry. What we know is that even though we have some kind of crisis everywhere, the food sovereignty is very important for everybody. And we're looking at a growing population. We're going to hit 10 billion people within like 30, 40 years. So there's a real challenge to reinvent the way we are producing food. And that's one of the challenges we are tackling on Sial Paris. We are trying to bring together everybody to become an actor of the transition in order to be prepared to feed 10 billion people in the coming 20, 30 years.
In which countries do you organize Sial fairs? Do you have any plans to organize a Sial fair in Istanbul?
So we have about 10 or 12 events every year. So we are in Paris, we've been there for 60 years. We are in Canada, we've been there for 25 years. We do Montreal and Toronto. We also try to do the US. We've been in Las Vegas for a couple of years. Now we also a lot in Asia. We are historically in Shanghai. We launched a show in Shanghai that was in 2000, so that's 24 years ago. And Sial Shanghai has become the fourth biggest show in the world for the food industry. We have about 5,000 exhibitors and about 200,000 visitors. So Shanghai has become huge. Now we have also decided to launch in Shenzhen because Shenzhen is covering the south part of China, and there's a growing demand from this part of the Chinese market. So that's a new show that we launched 2 years ago and that we are pushing. We have been in Indonesia for a long time. We launched in India, in New Delhi, about now 4 or 5 years ago. It was in 2018. So why India? Because of course they have 1.4 billion people and there's a growing demand for international food. So we are pushing to develop a big event in India. We are in Malaysia. Malaysia is another market that is really growing in Southeast Asia, just next to Singapore. We are in Algeria with the Jazagro, and we have many more events in France specialized either on gourmet food or cheese products, for example. So see, there's a large coverage. So now, do we have a plan to launch in Istanbul? I was actually challenged on this question during the press conference today, and I was invited to consider this. So we need to look at the potential of Istanbul as a hub for the region, and why not? So we're going to study that proposition.